to speak on the resolution of Welcome Dayton. I ask you to vote no on this resolution. My feeling is anybody, in your resolution, in this document, it doesn't state anywhere the difference between people who have chosen to come into our country illegally or people who have become U.S. citizens. Just recently, of the James A. Garfield home in Manor, Ohio, we had 32 people became U.S. citizens. And to listen to what those people have to say, what a privilege and so forth, and how they work to become U.S. citizens. And in this document, like I said, I have read this, and nowhere does it define anything about people who have chosen to come into here legally or illegally into our country. So I am asking that you do not pass this resolution as you.
My name is Julie Aldridge, address 12380 Chamberlain Road, Manly, and that is in Portage County. Good morning, and thank you for taking my comment. I also am here to read about the Dayton Plan. I'm here today after reading the Welcome Dayton Plan and the Dayton Daily News. My first reaction after reading this was, has the City of Dayton, Ohio read the Federal Immigration and Nationality Act? To welcome those here legally is commendable, but to welcome those who have broken our laws is unworthy. From the Federal Immigration and Nationality Act, any person who encourages or induces an alien to reside knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that such residence is in violation of law shall be punished as provided for each alien in respect to whom such a violation occurs.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to respond to some of the people in comments about the Welcome Dayton Plan. To the last lady, I just want to say that there was nothing in my plan about laying off police and fire, and so when people read the plan, they ought to read it accurately. And the second thing is, I find it heinous when people read something about immigrants, and I've worked with this group, and there are these wonderful people who are here in town, and they see the term immigrant and they immediately think illegal. And there are just these wonderful people in town. A lot of them are refugees from countries that have suffered from war and poverty, and they've come here and they're making a new life for themselves. And to see people constantly say that it deals with illegal immigrants is just, frankly, it's just offensive to me. So I just want to put that on the record. I see that so often and think people really aren't reading the things and they're reading things into it that aren't there.
Are you guys making an assumption that people involved in this program are illegal immigrants de facto from the beginning?
The one item I think that sticks out
is that yes or no?
with everyone is the fact that about the municipal ID, it states, I don't have the exact wording here with me, but basically for those that cannot get, say, an identification. I believe in the Dayton newspaper it said, as an example, a driver's license or a state ID.
Okay.
When people come in legally, normally they have their visas, they have their green cards, they have these items that are very much acceptable across the U.S. If someone doesn't have any of the above, I say it sends up a red flag and there's something wrong. And they should not be automatically given an identification.
Okay. What kind, have you any legal immigrants who are, behind your cause or have supported you guys, or like say this is? Yes. Okay. And what other than a lot of people would say, Dayton is like largely abandoned. We have largely abandoned neighborhoods, some neighborhoods. And a lot of this, seems to be an impetus is like we need people, no matter where they're from, to come to these neighborhoods, open businesses, be entrepreneurs. Because right now, a lot of them are being, their abandoned properties are taken up by crackheads and junkies and all of the other problems that are associated with that.
Well, I understand that, and I think a lot of communities within Lake County, we've seen that also. But again, it goes back to we welcome immigrants. Mm-hmm. These are people that have waited in line. They filled out all the paperwork. They have paid any fees to come here. How is it fair that they have to be on a waiting list, and yet we have people that come here that chooses to ignore our immigration laws? It's not fair.
Okay.
Julie?
You guys, are you working with any other groups? I mean, to come all the way down here from Cleveland and talk to Dayton City Commission, you know,
No, it's
what would
not.
drive that? Or just you guys, individual citizens?
But it's been years, we've been working, I've been working on this since 2007, so.
Okay.
There's a lot of, I mean,
We
I can speak for myself, we are all for immigration, but all we ask is you choose to come into our country, you do it legally. That's all we are, and if we start to pick and choose which laws we enforce and which laws we do not,
You don't think we pick and choose laws to enforce them, which ones we don't right now, in regards to all kinds of different things?
I cannot say that, but this one here just sort of is glaring that it's, you know, back in 2007, I did a door-to-door, and number one or number two on people's minds was illegal immigration. Of course, now with the economy and the jobs, which I think illegal immigration has contributed immensely to.
What about free trade deals? Do you think there's any relation to free trade deals with illegal immigration, and people are really just following where the food and the jobs are?
My cause basically is illegal immigration, so I can't really get into
But they're not. Don't you think they're interconnected?
Well, I think a lot of things are connected
Sure.
to where our country is today. I do. But I think illegal immigration contributes immensely.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, don't you think we should be looking at the root causes of this illegal immigration? Because no one in their right mind is going to like take their kids across the desert and subject those, themselves to the kind of things that they do, unless they think, I can provide a better life for my family. I mean, it's just insane. I wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that.
But the thing of it is,
Okay, it was a possibility.
we allow over 1 million immigrants in this country every year. In any other country in this world, we now have 308 million people in this country. Okay, why do we even have any laws? Why do we need any immigrants? I would say out of the 7 billion people in this world, there's probably at least 3 billion that would like to come into our country. And a lot worse off than some of the people that are coming. Well, let them all come. What will happen to our country? What will happen?
Well, we're a country built by immigrants.
But 3 billion. Well, my grandfather came over, but he.
I mean, do you think it's really? Do you think logistically it's even possible to 3 billion people? They're not going to be washing up on the shores next
I'm
week.
just saying, why should somebody from certain countries have preference that they can walk over where other people that are a lot worse off cannot get here? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there are a lot of more people that are a lot worse off. Where does it end? I mean, the only thing is, what's the most important thing is we have existing immigration. We are a country of law and order, and we want the laws enforced. That's all there is to it.
How'd you feel about the city manager's rebuke, if you will,
In regards to
to you guys' presentation? He said he thought it was heinous, and he was offended.
We wouldn't be here, but.
Anybody that reads this plan will understand he mentioned it was not about illegal immigration, but all you have to do is read the plan and see that it is. Asking the police department, do not check immigration status unless it's a serious crime. How can you say that they're not talking about people that are here illegally?
Again, thank you
Dayton
so much.
amnesty back in '86, what good did it do us? People just kept coming over and over and over. We've gotten to the point we have to put our stake in the ground and say, what happens, it's like Iran, you heard about those 3 people over there, what happened to them? And what do we do here? And just like in regards to this, in my opinion is, we have a lot of poor people here. Did you ever read the book, The Immorality of Illegal Immigration by Father Basio?
Immorality?
Immorality. He was a Catholic priest, he was a missionary.
Well,
Then he was out of New York City.
but using Catholic priests as a source
But
might not be a real good idea.
Okay, but what
Well,
I'm
I think
saying,
it was just the book
it sort of
itself.
Okay.
substantiates what he is saying there. He says, illegal immigration hurts the poor the worst. And as you know, with the 2010 census, our poverty rate has doubled. So what he has said, and this was an older book, what he has said has actually happened. We are getting more and more people living in poverty. I'm not saying the book itself, but I'm just saying what he said in that book was illegal immigration hurts the poor the most. And when the 2010 the census came through, it actually.
We got a question. Would you rather have an empty neighborhood with crackheads crawling out of windows and junkies, or a neighborhood that's full people working.
We did commend them on welcoming legal immigrants.
Okay.
Our country allows more legal immigrants in here than any other country in the world. We have, I believe it's somewhere around 1 million people per year coming into this country legally. If you welcome the legal immigrants and build up your city, you'll have a great city. You don't need to let people come in there and break the law and reward them. That you will only have more crackheads and more people.
Okay. What is your ultimate solution? I mean, what do you think is a solution? I mean, like I said earlier, no one in their right mind would make a trip across the desert with their children unless they're desperate. You know, a lot of these people are in extreme poverty from where they're coming from. And so you're going to have that as long as there's this massive inequity, you know, in between economy, third world, first world.
Okay,
How do you stop? You know, I mean,
what I basically, like, just straight out, I tell people we need to secure our borders,
but is that logistically possible?
secure them.
Is it
And
logistically
we need to
enforceable though?
enforce our
Literally.
existing immigration laws.
Is that logistically possible?
I think it can be done. We have to pay for it.
It's an enormous thousands and thousands of miles, and then if we pay all that money to build, you know, millions and millions of dollars or whatever we do, what if they just figured another way around it?
Okay, question.
And our immigration laws need to be enforced. Our existing immigration
Okay.
laws.
Just like there was a governmental employee just the other day this week, he announced that he said that, and we all know this has happened, he says the drug cartels have infiltrated our southern border and they are here, and we all know this.
Yeah.
Just like where I live, they were granted a $75,000 grant, federal grant, to investigate gang activity in the city. You know, and the thing of it is, it came back, and I do not have the results with me. It's still to this day they haven't, but they said that these gangs are here in our city. And the thing about it is, can I say that everybody coming across the border are here for the right reasons? Remember,
You can't really say people who were born here for the right reasons necessarily. So we got crooks here.
19 people on 9/11 were here illegally. Okay, I'm not saying it would have stopped it or whatever, but the 4 of the people that were involved in 9/11 tragedy should not have even been in this country.
Yeah, but they didn't really come across the border.
No, but they came in. Their
but
visas
we
had
have-
expired.
right, we have
I don't
companies
care
with that.
I don't care how they got here. I don't care if they come by boat, plane, or whatever.
I guess
If
what
you're here illegally,
I guess we'll get it as the numbers of people who we're talking about. Obviously, it's impossible to round up 20 million people.
You don't need to run them.
You know what I mean? I mean, from that side, I mean, it's just, well, you couldn't. I mean, it's just, there's
You
no
don't.
way you have
Because
enough
I know what you're trying to,
buses.
basically you're saying that short of going door to door
Yeah.
and checking that it's not going to be possible, take away the entitlements. You know, make sure that we have a good e-verify legislation in place. Take away the jobs. You know, take away when they at times get benefits and take it all away. If there's nothing here,
And what?
There's a difference between human rights and U.S. citizen rights.
Okay.
There is a big difference there.
Well, isn't that like just humans saying that, like, all humans are basically the same, and one group of humans goes over here and say, I'm this team, and I name myself this team. But you're not really different than that other Homo sapien over there. You've just named yourself a different team and put a label on yourself. You're just a mostly hairless relative of chimpanzees, according to most DNA scientists.
Well, then-
So isn't the whole the idea? Isn't this rooted in what social anthropology, cultural anthropologists refer to as othering?
I'm not sure what you're trying to get at.
You know
Are
what the-
for open borders?
What's that?
Are you for totally open borders? And
Well, I'm
no
trying to figure out,
sovereignty?
is this related to what cultural anthropologists refer to othering? And we refer to other groups as others, and we're really just, we get up in the morning, we use the bathroom, we eat, we take care of our kids, and really everyone is a mostly hairless Homo sapien. We're all the
At your
same.
point, I'm not sure what
I'm not sure you understand what well, I'll tell you what, I'll email it, some stuff on what the concept of othering means.
okay.
Where you look at other people as other separate groups, but by the protoplasmic chance of the universe, you could have been born somewhere in Mexico. You could have been born in a war-torn region.